Hello, everyone, and welcome to EHA Clinics' first ever nursing webinar powered by EHA Clinics Academy. Well, my name is Roslyn Ene Ogbu. I am a nurse and the assistant manager for nursing service at EHA Clinics, and I'll be hosting this exciting session. Before I go on to introduce Sorry, I am the moderator for this session. I have on the call with me the co-moderator and the speaker for this session. However, before I go on to introduce them, I would like to give you a brief overview of EHA Clinics. We are a world-class integrated healthcare service provider with 4 branches. We have one located in Kano, another in Lagos, and 2 branches in Abuja that is focused on improving healthcare delivery in Nigeria. We are aimed to bridge the gap between patients and healthcare services in any setting, including our clinic facilities and at home. Basically, I'd like to say our facilities are well equipped with the latest healthcare technologies and the most dedicated team of healthcare professionals, providing a unique range of patient-centered services. Basically, our products and services include telehealth, mobile pharmacy, healthcare services, Health Meet app, general and specialist consultation, laboratory services, dental and optometry services, and more. We also have a program which is called the REACH, which is our community health program focused on providing quality healthcare services to persons in underserved communities. Having said that, next I'll be introducing our co-moderator in person of Mr. Obinna Marizu. Obinaya Okoronkwo Marizu. Pardon me if I didn't get that well. Yeah. Thank you, Obinna, for joining this session. He's actually our coordinator for the learning and development team under the continuous and improvement development department, at EHA Clinics. And on the call with us is also Mrs. Sandra Ortega. She would be our speaker for today. Mrs. Sandra is a lecturer at the Department of Nursing Science, Benue State University, Makurdi. Sandra, thank you for joining this session. We're really happy to have you. Before we hand the floor over to the mic over to Sandra to begin her lecture, I would like to inform everyone on board that for your questions and comments, we have 2 sessions, right? The Q&A session and also the chat session. In order for us to coordinate this webinar session, I would suggest that we use the Q&A session to drop your questions and your comments, and we'll pick it up from there, okay? So if peradventure we have there's any need for you to speak at any point, do raise up your hand and perhaps we'll give you an opportunity to say something. All right, thank you guys. Thank you so much for taking your time to be part of this webinar. Mrs. Sandra Ortega, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Rosaline, for this wonderful privilege. I'm excited to be here. I hope that everyone is as well. I want to say a big thank you to the management of EHA Clinics for according me this privilege to be a guest speaker on this wonderful webinar that you have so nicely put together for the progress of the profession. So I would like to say before we begin the presentation that it's going to really be interactive. it gets boring when it's not. I'm sure we're all tired. We've had a long day. So it would be interesting if it's interactive. If you have a comment, just like the moderator said, it would be important to drop it in the comment section. Let's keep the conversation going. And I think it will really be a wonderful time. I look forward to enjoying this time, and I hope you do too. So without further ado, we're going to be looking at evidence-based practice. Let me share my screen with you now, and then we will begin. I'd just like to confirm, maybe Rosalind, you can tell me if you can see my screen.
Okay, yeah. We can see your screen.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Thank you for the feedback. So,
You're welcome.
Can you hear me, Rosalind? Let me just be sure that
yes,
we're
please.
on the same page.
Loud and clear, yeah. Okay.
All right. All right. All right. So evidence-based practice, that's the topic of our webinar. Evidence-based practice, applying research to nursing care. I'm sure that a number of people on this platform, right, on the webinar right now are nurses, but it's possible that a good number aren't as well. So we welcome those that are not nurses on this platform and every other person who is here. But today we are going to be talking of how we can bring research to nursing care, apply research to nursing care. I'm sure if you've been in the clinics or in the hospitals, you've probably heard the word evidence-based practice. I would like to just hear, your comments. What do you think the word entails? What comes to mind first when you hear evidence-based practice? What's the first thing that pops up in your mind? Like Rosalind said, it would be nice if you could just begin to chat, maybe, so we can have that interaction. To begin with, what do you remember about evidence-based practice, or how can you define it in your own words? Rosalind, do I have any feedback or anything?
Yeah, so someone just left a comment. He said that's let me see, just give me a second.
One of them is providing care backed by research. Another said a practice that has been tested and proven with facts. Another said an already proven fact you can work with, scientifically proven. Yes, that's basically the things we have. Sandra,
yeah, that's really wonderful. It appears that we already, yeah. Okay, so it appears we already have a handle of what evidence-based practice looks like. It's truly proven facts, applying it to nursing care. So that's wonderful. Thank you for your feedback. So here, by way of introduction, the definition I have here is evidence-based practice is an approach to healthcare that uses the best available evidence from research with clinical expertise and patient use. So if there was going to be like a broad definition, is that it uses is an approach, really, that's what it is. There are different ways to approach healthcare. So this is one approach using the evidence-based practice. So this approach combines three major things. It combines available evidence, from research, it combines clinical expertise, as well as patient preferences. Those three things make for, evidence-based practice. So the first thing is evidence, research, clinical expertise, and patient preference. If you don't go with something about the definition, go with those three factors: research, clinical expertise, and patient preferences. All right. Health professionals, including nurses, to make decisions about patient care. So it's not just about doctors or pharmacists, it involves everybody in the health sector. Now, this is the important part. It is actually a clarion call. It is a call, especially for nurses and the healthcare team at large, to move from the traditional practice. We really need to move from that, oh, the matron says so, or the sister said so, or my senior nurse said so. Because nursing, as though it was an apprenticeship thing. The matron would do something and then you just, do exactly the way she did it. But it's time for us to move from that place to making use of current verified evidences, not just by walking into a place and saying, okay, it's been done like this, so I'll just continue as it has been done. It's important. It's a clarion call. It means that it's a loud call for every nurse, individually and collectively as a body, to move from that traditional way of doing things to using current evidence. So what's